Now we'll start with the same float attack, since it's very easy to implement and it's very effective. But the first challenge will be how I'm going to test this attack. I told you we should never try that on real targets. We need to have our own target. So we need to have a website or a web server to be able to test that. We have two different options here. Number one, we can use our router as a target. The router have an HTTP server running. That's why you can configure it from the browser. So if you go to your browser, whatever browser you are using, and you put the IP of the router, and I hope you remember how to get the IP of the router, 168.1.1. You'll be connecting to the router, and if you need to know how to get the router IP, you can go to the command line and type ipconfig, and your router should be the gateway. So one way for doing that, it's to, so if we go to the command line cmd and we type ipconfig, and since I'm connected through the wireless, so it should be the wireless connection. Here you go, it's 192.168.1.1. This is one way for doing that. The second way to prepare a victim or to prepare a target to test on is to open one of the Linux virtual machine. I'm going to use the G-Track, but concept apply on anything. So when you open the G-Track, you have inside the, now as you notice, the IP of G-Track is 192.168.95.129. So you can go here and you can go to let's see, we can go to services, and you're gonna find Apache, and you can click on Apache Start, and this will start in HTTP server, a web server on this machine. And to check, you can go from any other machine and type the IP of the Linux machine, which was 192.168.95.29, and as you can see, it's working. So you have two different targets that you can test. I'll take the router. I know that my family is going to scream that I'm going to crash the router, but no problem will happen. Actually, once you restart the router, it will be working fine, or even once you stop the attack, it will be working fine. So the router page is here, and I'm going to go to Kali Linux, or you can do that from G-Track or Backtrack. They all have the same tools that we're going to use, and we're going to log in. Okay, now the tool that we're going to use is called HPing3. It's a very effective tool, and it has a lot of feature, and this is the command that we'll be using, HPing3. And before using the command HPing3, you can check the options that you have, and it will be a very good feature, or a very good technique to keep trying the different kind of flag to be sent. I mean, you're going to do a send float, you can send HTTP requests, you can send ping, you can send, so it has a huge amount of option. And believe me, eventually you'll be able to crash the website, because you will not find a website that has a control or has a countermeasure for all kinds of attack. It will be priceless. So it's very costly to do that. So that's why, you know, if one attack is not working, another attack may work. So working with this tool will give you definitely a result, except it may take time and you need to keep trying. But I'm going to go with you with something tested and kind of effective. But the only problem is that it may take time. So sometimes it takes like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So we're going to try it, and we will not be able to stay for the 45 minutes. Hopefully it will be crash after lower time. So the command is ping 3, then ping 3 minus I, and then minus U100. Minus U100, it's the U100. It's the time interval between each request that will be sent to the server. And then minus capital S, that means send packet will be sent. So it will be sending the same float, send, and so on. And then minus P, which you're going to specify the port, minus port 80. The request will be sent to the port 80 because as a web server, it has port 80 open and it will send SYNAC. And finally, the 192.168.1.1, the IP of the machine, Linux or the router, whatever web server you need to try. So then we can launch. As I told you, it will take a time, and you have from time to time to keep go and refresh the page until you get that the page cannot be found. That means the attack become effective. So how long it will take? It depends on the bandwidth, and it depends about the target that you are trying. It may take 30 minutes, it may take a couple of hours, it will take 5-6 hours. And usually, whoever implements such attack, they do not do that from their own machines. They will not launch those SYN from their own machine. They'll be doing that from a proxy server, from another machine. So they will hide their identity. But since we are doing that with an approval from the client, so we are not really worried about doing that from a proxy or after spoofing our identity. I'll keep it running. It may take a while, and as I told you, after a while you just need to refresh the page and you'll get an error that the page cannot be found. Let me see again. Still, sometimes you may need to close and reopen the browser because sometimes the page is cached, so he's not retrieving the page, just cached. And let's see, 192.168, here you go. You notice that it's taking time, it's loading and taking time, but it will open, but it starts getting effective. First time we open the page, it didn't take that much of time. So it seems that the attack start working. It's just a matter of time. On the next video, we're gonna take another attack, also using a SYN float, but with another tools called DoS. So on the next video, we're gonna repeat the technique, but the tools will be different. But from my point of view, the HPing3, it's an amazing tool. As I told you, you just need to get familiar with the tools and keep using different options and different features, and eventually, definitely 100%, you'll be able to crash the server. So we're going to keep it running until it crashes, and we're going to test another tool.